Audio Jungle.
Hello, today I'm going to teach you how to train the shoulders, specifically the deltoid muscles on the shoulders. Why train the shoulders? Because the shoulder helps give a well-rounded athletic physique, not only for males but also for females. So in order to train the deltoids, I'm going to teach you about the anatomical structure and function in order to teach you to be able to train them effectively and smart.
Audio Jungle.
Starting off with the anatomical structure. What are the deltoids? First of all, the deltoids are the most superficial muscle on the shoulder. So what is superficial means outermost layer. So the deltoids are the largest part of your shoulder and they're on the outermost. So if you develop your deltoids, they're going to grow bigger and look rounded. Well, what is the deltoid made of? The deltoid is actually made up of three parts. The front deltoid, the side deltoid, and the rear deltoid. The posterior is the rear, the medial is the middle, and the anterior is the front part of your deltoid. They all have different functions. The front part is helping you with pushing movements. Side deltoid is helping with lateral movements when you're lifting up to the side. And the last one is the rear deltoid, used mostly for pulling movements, specifically when you're pulling like this. In this motion, you have a wider grip. As you can see, my deltoids are activated when I am pulling. So they all have different functions with different parts of the deltoid. And so we have to implement this mindset when we're training our deltoids. And the deltoids, how do you train them? Well, there are two main ways to train your deltoids. It's in a pushing movement and in a raise movement. First are with pushing movements that are in a high angle. What do I mean by high angle? This is what high angle means. If you're on a bench and you're doing a flat bench press, you're putting way more emphasis on the chest rather than the shoulders. So if you're going to do more shoulder activation, you increase the angle of the bench. You go for an incline. Incline has chest, but more shoulders, more front delts. And the higher you go, the more delt activation you achieve. The highest is up to about 90 degrees, where you can actually have the highest delt activation when you're doing pushing movements. When you're pushing it vertically, pushing it upwards. And there are two main ways you can do this with a dumbbell. With a dumbbell, you can go for the standard press, vertical press, or you can go for the Arnold press, where you have a rotation movement. So you rotate it as such, and you control it downwards. You control it, you push. Now with the pushing movement, you're actually feeling the deltoids activating more. You don't want to go straight up, you want to go up and like 90 degrees. That's why you can recruit more shoulder muscles when you're doing that kind of movement. Next, if you want to train the front ones, people often do like these front raises. For the front raises, if you put it too close up here, you're actually targeting way more chest compared to the shoulders, the front delts. So what you should do is instead have a slight bend in your elbow and lift it away from your chest, but lift it up. You can do one by one, or you can do two at a time. And really focus on that front delt. Keep a bend in the elbow, don't bring it up closer. Up closer, you're doing way more chest, and you're not trying to target chest, you're trying to target the shoulders. So go for a wider range, and then slight bend in your elbow. Feel the eccentric, lowering face rather than the concentric, and don't swing like a madman. If you're trying to focus more on the side delts, you would like to go with side lateral raises. Side lateral raises are these ones. So you want to tend to go more reps with lighter weight. You don't want to go too heavy, because when you go too heavy, you have a chance of injuring the deltoid muscle itself or even the rotator cuff muscles, which are not good. So if you're trying to train your shoulders, go light. Go focus on the eccentric rather than the concentric. And so when people go too heavy, they go like this. And then they're doing like putting all the leg movements and all the traps. You don't want to do that. You want to isolate the shoulders. So when you do this, you want to reach. Imagine like you're reaching out. Imagine like you're trying to grab something out there. If you're trying to grab something out there, your shoulders have to work way harder in order to keep that load up in this position. Rather than using your back muscles or your chest muscles to bring your arms up, you would like to go raise it and imagine that you're trying to pull your body apart. That's what you do with the weights. Or you can imagine it another way. it's like you're pouring jugs of water. So you lift it up to the side, control the eccentric, feel that tension, and then repeat it. And if you can, to make it more difficult, you can go up and then go halfway and then go up again. Because the bottom range of motion is quite easy to do compared to the up here. Up here is way harder than down here. So if you want to make it more challenging, you can go up here, you can go down and up again, down, up again. And next, how do you train the rear delt? Well, the rear delts are actually the most neglected part of the shoulder. In beginners that start training, they have way more development on their front delt because they do a lot of pushing movements. And in the side delt, there's some development, but the most neglected, the least development is actually the rear delts. The rear delts are the back part of your delt. So how do you train this? Usually, when people train the back specifically for their rear delts, they often forget how to do it, or they don't know how to do it. So if you want to train your rear delts using a barbell and a bent over row exercise, which is this, you would like to go with the wide grip. Why the wide grip? Because the wide grip places more emphasis on upper traps as well as the rear delts. You can see the difference of activation in a wide grip versus close grip of my rear delt. You see here, this wide grip, way more emphasis on the rear delts compared to if I use a close grip and way more emphasis on the lats. I'm barely using my rear delts for closer grip. That's why you have to go lighter when you're using a wider grip, and you go heavier when you're using a close grip when using dumbbells. But if you only have barbells or dumbbells, you can do a rear bend over row. So when you're doing bend over row, usually you bend over here and you pull it up, right? You can even do the rows on a chest supported row using dumbbells. If you're doing chest supported rows, you can lean on this with your chest and go for the wide. Don't go for the close grip, go for the wide and pull your elbows up. Pull it up to the sky. That way the rear delts work way more. When you're doing with the rear delts, if you want to really feel them and isolate them, you can hunch over in this position and bring it directly up. Bring the weight directly up and feel that rear delt activating. Imagine that the elbow is going straight up there. Same with the other side. Take the weight and feel the contraction of the rear delt. Don't use your arm, pull your elbow up. Imagine it pulling your elbows directly up. That's how to feel your rear delts. If you have the luxury of a table machine, you're also able to do this exercise, which is called face pulls, which are directly used to target the rear delts. Face pulls, you want to go around face level high or even lower, and you want to do such movement. So you solidify your back, and then you pull with your rear delts. You pull with your delt instead of with your back. You're trying to pull it apart. Pull the rope apart. Pull it to your face. That way you can feel way more tension on the rear delt. Sometimes keeping it on a lower position may help with the swinging back and forward. And you want to pull it up and behind. Pull the rope to your face. And imagine that the elbows are going back. That's how you actually activate the rear delts. So those are the three ways to train the front, the side, and the rear delt to give a well-rounded 3D deltoids. And that's how you make deltoids stronger and more well-defined. Thank you for watching.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new from it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing to our channel. It would mean so much to us. Our channel aims to provide free educational content on how to work out in a proper and scientifically proven way so that you could get results. On screen are some other videos that you could watch if you want to continue learning how to work out. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good day. We'll see you next video.